Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. This is going to be a bit of a Majlis debate. This is going to be a Majlis discussion, and I'm sure lots of you have been discussing this already. When is the right time to go down for the vaccine? Pfizer is out there. Sinopharm vaccine is out there, and everyone in the country is hoping to get on or jump on the bandwagon. Over in Dubai, if you use the DHA app, people are getting the Pfizer vaccine, and there are 5 centers that you can go to: Al Barsha, Nad Al Hamar, Mizhar as well, to name a few. And looking at the footage that I'm receiving at the moment so far this morning, quite a few people have been lining up and getting their vaccine jab done. Here in Sharjah, we've got plenty of centres for Sinopharm. But the question is, how, where and why should I get the vaccine done? A lot of people still have those question marks. I'm one of the ones who's sitting on the fence and just wait and watch approach. Is that the general trend so far?
Well, the thing about it is the vaccine rollout and who's getting the vaccine. I mean, we're looking at main groups being targeted, and that's definitely something that should factor into everyone's decision, meaning people 60 and older, people with chronic health conditions, people who really need this, whether it's suffering from respiratory issues or have the risk of COVID-19 happening. That would be too catastrophic for their health. That's the group that's primarily being targeted, and probably the ones who are most motivated to get this jab, which is available at 6 Dubai Health Authority facilities. What do you think, Rania?
Well, okay. My opinion here, Pfizer against Sinopharm versus Sinopharm. I believe if I had to take the vaccine, I would take the Sinopharm one. I'm not too much of an mRNA vaccine fan.
Okay.
Because well, let me just explain what they really do. The mRNA vaccine, which is the Pfizer one, the Pfizer BioNTech one, they eliminate much of the manufacturing process, because rather than having viral proteins injected, the human body uses the instructions to manufacture viral proteins itself. Also, the mRNA molecules are far simpler than proteins. For vaccines, mRNA is manufactured by chemicals rather than biological synthesis. So it is much quicker than conventional vaccines to be redesigned, scaled up, and mass-produced. It really plays a lot with the genetic coding and all of that. And whereas on the other side, we're just talking about the antibodies for the Sinopharm one. It's a much simpler process. Anyway, we're going back to the Pfizer BioNTech COVID-19 vaccine that is being rolled out here. Now, let's talk about the centers where I can get the vaccine. If you would like to get the vaccine, if you want to get it, for example, in Dubai, you can get it Zabil Primary Healthcare Center, Al Mizhar Primary Healthcare Center, Nad Al Hamar, Barsha Primary Healthcare Center, Uptown Mirdif, Hatta Hospital as well.
One thing I found very interesting about the Sinopharm is that it was not tested in China. Reason is because China was very successful in combating the virus through the rapid introduction of lockdowns, led to the rates of infection dropping so low that it is hard to test whether a vaccine protects against COVID-19 or not. So that was one thing, and that's one of the reasons why the Sinopharm was also tests were conducted here in the nation's capital with G42 Healthcare. Now, we've done an interview with G42 Healthcare, and we were talking about the Sinopharm vaccine, and during that discussion, the spokesperson said, guys, I have a surprise for you. Well, it's not a surprise. It's what we're aiming for.
Yeah.
It's before the end of the year, we will be ready. Now, when it's rolled out, obviously, it's human nature. We all have these question marks. Back then, when we heard it, we're like, yes, we're going to beat the virus. And when it's out, we're like, is it safe? So this is human nature. And you're going to get a lot of thoughts. And Rania does come from a pharmaceutical background as well.
Yeah, and Sinopharm, actually, it follows the tried and tested route of training the body's immune system to detect and destroy viruses using injections of deactivated virus. So for the COVID-19 coronavirus, researchers used actually a compound which stops the virus from replicating, but still allows it to trigger a response from the immune system. So the deactivated virus method has been safely used for decades to create vaccines against viruses ranging from influenza, polio, and much more. So, but really how effective is, going back to the Sinopharm, my favorite one, how do we know it's effective and safe? Well, Chinese officials back in April approved small trials in volunteers to check that the vaccine triggered an immune response without serious side effects. And the results, which were actually published in The Lancet, led to approval for a far larger phase 3 study in collaboration with the UAE. And ever since September, 31,000 volunteers from 125 different countries in the age range of between 18 and 60 have been given the virus. Not many came back with massive side effects.
And with regards to vaccines as well, I mean, there was a bit of a discussion on about it from a religious perspective, and
right, that it has
because some of the exactly,
right,
and some of the ingredients were not halal, so to speak. But the UAE Fatwa Council also clarified this the other day,
right,
issuing a fatwa allowing the coronavirus vaccines to be used in compliance with Islamic Sharia objectives. They said that's because of the highly contagious and deadly nature of the virus necessitating this development.
That's
so
right.
That's been cleared up as well.
Lots of people coming back with the texts. Arjun says he is getting ready to go for that vaccine, and a couple more people are also joining the discussions by saying we are also following the wait and see approach, which is good, which is all right. Yeah, some people do that. It is human nature after all, because it's something completely new. But more than 1 million Americans have received their first dose of the COVID-19 vaccines, and it's a milestone in the biggest immunization drive in the U.S. history. And some 3 million doses of the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine were shipped over to the U.S. last week, and the official goal for this week was 2 million more Pfizer doses and 6 million from Moderna. Are we going to go into this tussle of seeing which vaccine represents which country? Is it going to be like a food menu at a clinic but saying, hey, which one would you like? This one has 95% efficacy. This one is good. This one we have special offer. All that stuff. You never know what's happening. So it is going to be very interesting what is going to be the new normal. We did have this discussion off air to an extent that it is going to become a norm, maybe in a few months down the line, that they'll say you can only book tickets if you've got the vaccine. Yeah, that's what's happening, and looking at the number of companies that are encouraging their own employees to go over and do get vaccinated, it is quite high as well. But we'll keep you posted about what's happening in and around the nation when it comes to the vaccine drive. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We shall return right after some musical entertainment. Then it's all fun and games, because we've got a Majlis quiz for you to give out those free tickets to the screening of Khorfa Khan at cinema screens near you. Want to know how to win that competition? Well, up next we give you a little bit of an explanation here on the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. We are big fans of climbing hills, climbing mountains, and so much has been happening across the globe. And we have the Killer Mountain is now back in the limelight, because more than 60 climbers from countries including Nepal, the US, Iceland, Spain have joined the winter expedition. K2 is the only of the 14 mountains that rise above 8,000 meters, and is only one unconquered in winter due to the high winds, steep icy slopes. But these guys are willing to climb the Killer Mountain.
Yeah, and this is quite the feat, this attempt in and of itself. I mean, the mountain's been described as the savage mountain, the Killer Mountain for the large number of mountaineers, 86 of them who lost their lives attempting to scale it. And of the 14 mountains that rise to at least 8,000 meters, this mountain is the only one that is unconquered during winter, when avalanches are an ever-present risk, where temperatures can fall to minus 65 degrees and winds blow with the power of cyclones. Back in 2008, 11 climbers from international expeditions died on K2 in what was considered the single worst accident in the history of mountaineering. And yet, despite the great risks, those attempting this, led by Chiang Dawa Sherpa, are saying they are looking forward to making this mountaineering dream come true.
Yeah, K2 actually, it's on the Pakistan-China border, and it is thought it is about the length of 2.5 football fields, shorter than Mount Everest, which stands about 8,848 meters high. Now, it is widely considered to be the toughest and most dangerous mountain to climb. We're talking about K2 here. In fact, a winter ascent has only been attempted 5 times before 2019. And according to Sherpa, she said K2 is very technical and also very cold, very harsh weather. It's very challenging. So this is going to be a challenge for sure. It's very cold, it's very dangerous. But Sherpa is undaunted. Actually, he said this is a mountain. It's risky. There is danger. Sometimes planes also crash, but people don't stop flying. In mountaineering, it is also the same. Some people go missing, some accidents happen, but we keep trying.
Well, looking at the history of the mountain, more than 300 climbers have scaled K2, but that's only in spring and summer. The tourism director of that region, Gilgit-Baltistan, Iqbal Hussain, said 3 teams of climbers had been given permits for the K2 winter expedition this year. 2 teams of climbers have kicked off their expeditions, while the third team, comprising of more than 50 members from 15 countries, will leave Skardu. And that was a statement there. But geographically, Pakistan is considered a climber's paradise, rivaling Nepal for the number of peaks, more than 7,000 meters high. Other than being home to K2, Pakistan also has 4 of the world's 14 summits higher than 8,000 meters. Now, we spoke to a climber yesterday, and she is climbing for raising
Mount Kilimanjaro.
Yeah, Mount Kilimanjaro, raising funds for a leukemia patient. If you'd like to catch up with that discussion, you can do so on the text line. Well, you can ask us about the interview.
On SoundCloud.
On the text lines 4215. And on SoundCloud, we have the podcast.
We have the podcast. We talked about this amazing cause. She lost a family member to cancer, and this is one of the reasons why she's doing this, actually. And she's using and utilizing her love for climbing for a really good cause, for the Friends of Cancer Patients campaign. So she will be climbing Mount Kilimanjaro on her birthday this month. It'll be very nice.
Yeah, it is incredibly nice, and a lot of work goes into training for a mountain climb. I mean, I wouldn't know how to put myself in their shoes, especially with the risks. Not particularly referring to Kilimanjaro, which is a lot safer, but this K2 ascent.
But it is the highest mountain in
It is
Africa.
Definitely not a small feat at all.
Yeah.
The things that mountaineers have to do as far as training is concerned, it's extremely rigorous. And when they're up there, it's incredible.
Right.
It's really incredible.
It is, for sure. And speaking, we've got a quote here from Noel Hanna from Northern Ireland, who is part of the summit in K2. He's 54 years of age.
Wow.
And he's has summited Mount Everest 9 times, along with many other peaks, including the K2 in the summer of 2018. He said that this year would be his first attempt to climb the K2 in winter. And he said, obviously, I will just have to see how to cope with the cold carefully and will not act stupidly by putting my life into danger.
Right.
If the weather does not cooperate, then no one can climb this summit. But we are hopeful that we may get favor from the weather and will succeed in our mission. Scary thought about of summiting K2 is that normally in winters you don't see sun at all. It's just so cold up there. So
Yeah.
really worrying times indeed for these climbers, but this is what they do. This is what they train for. This is what their life is all about, and we wish them all the very best, and we'll keep you posted about their summit as well. here on the Morning Majlis. So stay tuned to Pulse 95. We'll be right back after some musical entertainment to keep you motivated, informed and updated throughout the morning. And of course, we have that big quiz question about Khorfakan. Khorfakan movie is in cinema screens near you with English subtitles. We're giving you a chance to win 3 tickets to watch the movie, an epic adventure detailing the resistance of the quiet town of Khorfakan against the Portuguese invasion in 1507 to 1534. It is based on a book written by a very noble personality. Who is that personality? What is the name of the author of the Khorfakan book? If you know the answer, text us on 42115, and not 1, not 2, 3 tickets could be yours. And we will be giving those tickets away later on in the program. All you have to do is text us on 4215 with the name of the author and the name of yourself, and then we call you back and give you those tickets. So here's a bit of a Majlis quiz for you this morning. We'll be right back after a bit of a short break. If you really like those tickets and want to watch the movie, text us 4215.
Pulse 95.
The Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Something to talk about. It's reaching for the stars. It's the experience of stargazing from the International Space Station, being able to see the world at night on every orbit. Well, about 14 candidates now in the UAE are getting closer to making that dream come true, as the selection for the next 2 UAE astronauts in its final recruitment stage right now. 9 men and 5 women are vying for the coveted roles after a rigorous selection process has taken more than 1 year.
Yes, and it's the final phase of the UAE astronaut program. It's taking place at the Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center. And now the selected candidates will undergo final interviews conducted by a committee comprised of specialists from the Space Center, including the pioneering Emirati astronauts Hazza al-Mansouri and Sultan al-Niyadi themselves. NASA's going to be involved. Their astronauts Anne McLean and Jessica Meir will be present to evaluate the candidates. The average age of the 14 applicants is 31 years old. The youngest applicant is 24 years, while the oldest is 58. And as far as the backgrounds that these applicants hail from, it's quite diverse. 9 of them have a bachelor's degree, 4 have a master's degree, and 1 has a doctorate. And in terms of the professional backgrounds, 9 were from the engineering sector, 4 from aviation, and 1 from metrology.
What's going to happen next is also interesting, because the chosen astronauts will begin the training at NASA's Johnson Space Center in Houston once the next class begins in the second half of 2021. Major Al-Mansouri and Dr. Al-Niyadi are currently training there for long-haul space missions, which involves learning the space station systems and how to spacewalk. Once they graduate, they will qualify for NASA-led missions to space. The Mohammed bin Rashid Space Center seeks to prepare national cadre who can contribute to the knowledge sharing in the space sector, said Salim Al-Marri, who is the head of the astronaut program. And this will further equip the space sector with trained and expert personnel who will enable us to participate in future space exploration missions. And another big milestone for the United Arab Emirates to look forward to.
Yes, indeed. And the 2 astronauts from the second batch of the UAE astronaut program will join the 2021 NASA astronaut candidate class, part of a joint strategic agreement between the UAE and the United States. They're going to be training at NASA's Johnson Space Center and undergo a training plan to ensure that they are ready to work with NASA astronauts as well. It's pretty cool seeing the interest that this program's had when you have over 4,000 candidates, for instance, and a general excitement about the UAE's space capabilities and technological capabilities as well. And when you have initiatives like these and developing of the astronaut program, it really elevates the country as a whole as far as its scientific and technical potential are concerned. So it's really cool to see how everything is moving really fast. And we look forward to seeing who ends up winning and becoming an astronaut for the United Arab Emirates.
I want to be an astronaut.
Let's do it.
I mean, am I too late now? That's the question. But we could be astronauts like this particular character.
infinity and beyond.
That could be fun.
Is that from Toy Story?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Good old Buzz Lightyear. Gotta miss him. Oh, get stuck. Well, there we go. We could be astronauts like him, you never know. But thank you for tuning in and thank you for texting us on 4215. One way we're asking all of you is to win with the Morning Majlis and win with Pulse 95 and win with Vox Cinemas is the Khorfa Khan movie. It's being screened at Vox Cinema screens near you. We're giving you a chance to win those tickets to watch the movie Khorfa Khan. And we're giving you 3 tickets. So all you have to do is text us on 4215 with the name of who wrote the book of which the movie is based on. The Khorfa Khan book depicts the Portuguese invasion in 1507. It was written by this person, and we're asking you to guess this person. Text us 4215. Once you do, we give you the 3 tickets to go and watch the movie Khorfa Khan at Vox Cinema screens near you. And sadly, if you do not win the tickets today with us, you can always buy those tickets on voxcinemas.com, and also with other shows here on Pulse 95. Each show will be giving away those tickets, so do text us 4215. We'll be right back after some musical entertainment here on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis, Pulse 95.
Yes, it's competition time. Ahmad Dawood, what are we giving away this time round?
Well, we'll be giving away free tickets to the movie Khorfa Khan that is screening at Vox Cinemas. A historical epic and a compelling story about people rebelling and defending themselves against foreign invaders. And this movie that we're giving away tickets for, we're doing a quiz. And the question is, who wrote the story that the Khorfa Khan movie is based on?
Yes, lots of people have been texting in this morning, 4215. And if you do not win the tickets today with us on Morning Majlis, you can win those tickets on Future Talk. You can win those tickets on other shows of of Pulse 95 for sure. And if you didn't win them, you can still book them on voxcinemas.com or use the Vox app. And the movie has been shot entirely in the East Coast region. It is a story written by His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Muhammad Al Qasimi, member of the Supreme Council of the United Arab Emirates and ruler of Sharjah. It was a film produced by Get Go Films and Sharjah Broadcasting Authority. Depicts the story of the 16th century Portuguese invasion of the Khorfa Khan coastline. If you know the answer, text us on 4215 on who wrote the book of Khorfa Khan and who wrote the story that the movie is based on. If you get the answer correct, we give you the prize. And our winner for today, guys.
Who is the winner?
It's Mr. Olumide Edwards. There we go.
Yay!
Congratulations. You get the tickets to watch the movie at Vox Cinemas near you. Our team will be messaging you. Thank you for tuning in, Mr. Edwards, and we wish you a pleasant viewing experience of the movie, and we will look forward to hearing from you. So we'll be getting in touch with you very shortly and give you some more details. And the tickets will be e-tickets. They'll be emailed to you. And if you do come over and watch the movie, and if you haven't got a chance to win the tickets with us today, don't worry, we've got those tickets to be handed out on Vox, where you can log on to voxcinemas.com and buy those tickets there, and there'll be more tickets being given out on our different programs throughout the morning. For now, Morning Majlis shall be heading off, and we look forward to welcoming you at some point soon.
Absolutely. And if you want to catch our conversations, you can still do so. Audio conversations will be up on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, and Spotify. And also you can catch the video experience and see our faces on YouTube. Just type in Pulse 95 Radio and look for The Morning Majlis. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share away. So thank you so much for joining us on The Morning Majlis today. lots more shows coming up on Pulse 95 Radio starting from 2. But for now, enjoy the music, enjoy the day, and stay safe, stay happy. Happy weekend and happy holidays.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse